Hello. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own 3D Mixamo models. What I mean by this is that, for example, in a GIF like this, you can see that the actors are doing very smooth and fluent animations, which almost look pre-made. And this is because they're done with motion capture. I'm not going to be showing you how to do motion capture in 3D Mem. I'm going to be showing you how to import animations like these. So to get started, you're going to need 4 things. First is a UV mapped actor model. You can get these in the Discord. There's one of the Bound actor I made. There's one of Patrick, which I'm going to be using today, and I'll link this one specifically, the Patrick one, in the description of the video if you want to try it out. So that's the first thing you'll need. And before we get started, it's best to use some sort of zip extraction program and copy out this texture from the zip. What a UV mapped actor is basically a model where the textures of the actor have been combined into one image, and then you basically just like map these to a different section of the model. This is how Minecraft does its textures, for example. So that's what you'll need first. So you'll need a model like that. If you're going to be uploading it to Mixamo, it needs to be in a zip with the OBJ and the texture together. This is already in a zip, so you don't need to worry. Next, you're going to need Mixamo. Mixamo is a free website. It's owned by Adobe, and you can see here they have a lot of animations for you to use. There's stuff like this. There's many different animations. You can search for them. There's stuff like combat, dancing, sports, whatever. What we're first going to do is, hold on, I gotta reload. You first need to upload a character. So we're going to upload character, select character file, and we're going to choose our model zip. It's processing. Okay, so you can see we have our actor here. Don't worry if the textures aren't there just yet. Textures, Mixamo is bad at displaying them. So just, if your model appears white or black or, any sort of weird thing, don't worry. So just click next. Next we're going to rig the model. The whole point of Mixamo is that it's an auto rigger. It generates a skeleton for your model to be able to apply animations to it. So to do this, we have all these little dots here. These are going to go over the various points on his body where we can generate limbs. So first we're going to put one on his chin. You can see in the top right, there's that little preview of what you're doing. So you put that there. Wrists, we're going to put these on his wrists. And the fact that they're chained together like this is because we have symmetry enabled. You can turn that off to fine tune and stuff. So we're going to do that later. So there we go. Knees, we're going to put these on his knees, and groin goes on his groin. There you go. Now because this model isn't perfectly symmetrical, you can see, for example, this knee is not aligned properly. We can turn off symmetry and align these points, and for example his chin, I want to align it onto his chin. There we go. So now that it's aligned, we can hit next. It doesn't have to be perfect, by the way, so don't worry. Just click next, and when it spins around, it's loading. So just let it load and let it rig. Okay, and there you go. So now Patrick has been rigged, and he has a little default animation there he's doing. So yeah, you can click next. This warning only pops up if you have uploaded the character previously, but on your first time you won't see this anyway, so just ignore that. So now, he may be clipped inside the floor, but that doesn't matter. If we choose an animation now, like this one for example, you can see he's doing that animation. So for the purposes of this, let's choose, I don't know, breakdancing. Okay, let's search, and we'll choose something like breakdance freezes, because it looks cool. Alright, there we go. So now Patrick is doing some breakdancing. These sliders here just adjust things like, for example, overdrive speed, but you don't really need to do that. These ones you don't really need to adjust anyway, so if there's like 3 of them by default, you can just ignore them. So once you've selected your animation and adjusted whatever you need to adjust, you can download. We're going to keep it as FBX binary. With skin, we want that on because that's textures. Keyframe reduction, we're going to do uniform. And frames per second, let's do 24 because it makes it easier later. So we're going to download now. Okay. We're going to save it as breakdance freezes.fbx, that's fine. Okay. Now what you're going to need next is Blender. You can, for this specifically, I'm using, where is it? I forgot oh, there it is, about Blender. For this specifically, I'm using version 3.6. If you're using Blender on Steam, you can downgrade to version 3.6 by selecting it in the betas window. If you are using it installed via, an installer or something, you can find an installer for version 3.6. Regardless, the plugin I'm using only works on this version, from what I know. I'm using 3.6. I think it might work on older though. It's fine. The first thing any Blender user will know is that you gotta delete these 3 things here. So delete those. That's a cube, a camera, and a light. We don't need any of those for this. Now we're going to go to Edit and Preferences. Okay, we're gonna now install an add-on. You're going to find the Blender Kingpin add-on, which is linked in the description. That's the next part of this list here. It's the Blender Kingpin add-on. So you install this by double-clicking on it, and now we need to enable it. So we're going to go to, we're going to search for MD2. Disable this part here, and we're going to check this little checkbox next to the plugin, and now it's enabled. Now if we just clear our search here and we go back to enable add-ons only, we'll see that the add-on is enabled. So now we can close this, and we're going to go to File and Export to check if it's there. And yes, Kingpin models are there, so we know it's worked. Next, what we're going to do is going to go to Import and FBX. We're going to find the FBX we just made in Mixamo and open that. It's going to be very small, so to scale it up, you can press S. Just don't hold it down, just press it, and then move your mouse outwards, and it'll scale it up. I know it's the right size when it's around, tall enough to fit in the default zoo. The textures are, you can show them by clicking viewport shading up here, and you can see there we have textures on, and that's Patrick. If we pull this up and select the model, you can see our keyframes there. And if we hit play, he's going to be doing the action we asked him to do. So you can see there he's breakdancing. Now notice when it stops, he sort of freezes because our animation is continuing on because we didn't set an end frame. This animation, as you can see, if we find the last keyframe, it ends on 161. I like to round up to the next 5, so we're going to round up to 165. Okay, so now there's a little bit of buffer area. So we're going to go back and okay, so I just recorded a whole segment trying to fix an issue, and it was kind of pointless because I realized the fix of the issue a long time ago. All right, so what we're going to do now is basically just export our model. We're going to go to Export and choose Kingpin Models MD2. Oh, sorry. We're going to click on this. You click on the mesh, which you can do by just clicking on the visible part of Patrick here. Make sure the mesh here is selected, not the animation pose or armature or this whole encompassing part here. Just click on the mesh part, which should have a triangle next to it. Now you can export and select MD2. And we're going to export here make sure you click at Export Animation. We got to put in a file name now, so we're going to put Patrick breakdance.md2. You have to put in the file extension, by the way. And now you're going to hit export, and it's going to export. It might freeze if your animation has a lot of keyframes, but there it is. Yeah, so you just got to let it go, and now it's done. I forgot to mention this earlier, but you're going to need Misfit Model 3D as well. And this is because if you import it to 3DM, it might not work. So what we're going to do now is open in Misfit Model 3D, and we're going to select our file. And we're going to select Patrick Breakdance. And there's our model. What we're going to do is now save as, and we're just going to select MD2. Let's just use the same file name and let's put 2 at the end to differentiate it. Alright, we've exported now. The thing is, the MD2 plugin for Blender, I believe it has sort of a broken export function. It does export correctly, but if you try putting it through 7th Gen, it doesn't work right. So you have to re-export through Misfit Model. I'll link all of these programs and all the downloads in the description of the video. But yeah, just sorry that I didn't mention that earlier. You do need Misfit Model to do this. All right. Now, the last part of the process is you need 7th Gen, which is just a 3D mod converter tool. If you don't know how to get 7th Gen, you can check it out. I have a whole guide here on the 3DM wiki that I wrote on how to install stuff, and in the 7th Gen section you can see you just download this zip here, extract it, and run the 2 Python installers, and you're good. So back in 7th Gen, you're going to want to use the MD2 to VXP option here, which is convert Quake 2 models to actors/props. So we're going to click this. We enter an expansion name, so Patrick Break Dance. You can hit the same original author button. And for a short name, generally mod short names have to be unique, because if you use the same short name as someone else by chance, and you install both mods, you're going to overwrite the existing mod and it's going to corrupt a bunch of stuff. So what you want to do is use a unique ID for your mod. So we're going to put username underscore mod name, and you can put some numbers too if you want to make it unique, but I just put plop underscore Patrick Breakdance because it's highly unlikely that someone's going to copy this. So now you're going to click here to load a model. We're going to browse for our model through this file browser, and you're going to select the model you re-exported through Misfit Model. For scale, I'm going to put like 0.75 or something. Make sure you have make actor checked. It's checked by default. If you have, the reason we extracted that sprite sheet at the beginning is because you're going to select it here as a texture now. I have another image in the folder, so I'm going to delete that. Make sure you only have one texture in this section. If you have more, it's not going to work. You're going to generate an ID now, and for your preview, you can just select like the sprite sheet texture because it doesn't really matter. So we have our frames, we have everything, and now we can create VXP, and it's going to put in all our frames, make a 3CN, and it's going to quit. And now if you go to your 7th Gen folder, you're going to find your Patrick Breakdance mod, and you can open this up into V3DMM. It's going to auto install. I'm going to scroll down to Patrick Breakdance. There it is. So now we're going to activate this. We're going to launch 3DMM. It's pretty loud. And we're going to create a new image. We're going to select scenes. We're going to choose actor. And now you can see we have Patrick here in 3DMM, and if we animate him, you can see he's got our animation. And it may be a little bit slow, but you can use something like 3DMM FPS, or in Spider, if you're capturing a GIF with Spider, you can make you can set the FPS there too. So yeah, this is how you make your Mixamo models in 3DMM. I'll link everything in the description, and thanks for watching.